I just finished Monday night, and it was okay for a Monday night. I did better than I did last week on a Monday night. Sorry about the beeps, but I had to use the reverse to get out of the car wash stall. So it resets itself. I think I've told you this before, but now it's done. It's not doing it. Yeah, I had a good night. I didn't go to the airport, but I ended up in the $250 range, so that's not too bad for a Monday. And some would say that this might be the slow time of year because the students are not here, or the university's not in session, or it's not a semester, or whatever you want to call it. And yeah, it was a good Monday night. I got to see a lot of videos. Don't ask me what all I saw. I just saw a whole bunch of stuff. Everything I was subscribed to that I hadn't seen over the weekend, and then some. I'll get back to you tomorrow. Well, it's about 5:45 in the morning. It's been a long, slow one, and the trips were short in general. I didn't have anything over about $13, and so I watched a lot of movies and videos and fell asleep a couple times, and I'm pretty tired now from just sitting around and waiting rather than driving, and so I'm worn out after this Tuesday night. Yeah, grand total, I did about, 175 or so. And I didn't get kicked off the system. I just, there wasn't the business. It wasn't there. I don't know what's going on. This is maybe a slow time before the tourist season starts. Or maybe it's just one bad night. I mean, the Monday night was good. It was okay. I did 250 Monday night. I'm itchy all over too. I don't know why. I've had this itch for a while. Almost a couple months. Yeah. Better luck tomorrow. What is it with people? Well, I'll let you know how the night's going before I get into that little speech. I started my night very well. I had a girl go out of town. It was like my third fare, and she went for $40 out of town. And that worked out very well. Then I had another fare that was for $25 a couple of fares later. And then at one point I was sent to a bar, and just as I'm pulling up to the bar, it blinks on my MDT here that I'm canceled. And then I'm passing by the bar where I was sent to, and there's this girl comes out and says, "Oh, I'm so sorry, but designated driver showed up. Okay, fine. You got your designated driver. So I lost my position in zone because this was in a different zone. And I got back into the zone where I was, and to add injury to insult, I was 5th in the zone where I had been 1st before. So then I got sent to the same bar about 20 minutes later, and that fare ended up being really good. It was like a $11 or $12 fare, got $15 for it. Then I had another one that went downtown from the same bar. I got sent to that bar again and went downtown. And that was, I don't know, he gave me $10 for a $8 ride. And just as soon as he got out, or he was getting out, these two rough-looking men came at me from the driver's side. And I rolled down the window, and he said, "Do you have a fare?" I said, "Well, he's getting out." So this guy said, "Good luck," and got out of the car. Now, last night, I would drop somebody off downtown, and somebody else came at me from the driver's side and grabbed the door handle and started opening my door. Right away, I rolled down my window a crack and grabbed the door and held it so that he couldn't open it. And I said, "Don't you ever do that again. Don't you ever open a driver's door on him. It's a threat." Anyways, these two guys got in. These two rough-looking guys. They said they're going to Langford. I said, "Okay." Then he gave me a big story about his car dying. And he says, "Well, can you cut me a break on this?" I said, "I'll take you the shortest way there is. How's that?" Anyway, he kept talking about his stupid car and breaking down and on and on. Then we were about $4 away, and it's, or $5 away, and it's clicking over 28. And he says, "Can you do it for 30? And I said, "Oh, it's going to be more than that." So we finally get to the damn place. It ends up being $33.60. So he pulls out, he gets out of the car and proceeds to dig money out of his pocket. He throws a 20 on the seat, and he throws a 10 on the seat. $30. His buddy, who was in the back seat, came up with a 2 and 50 cents. So it was, I had now $32.50, and it was $33.60. He says, "Well, what more do I owe you?" I said, "Well, about $1." He says, "Well, okay, fine." I said, just like that. You know, these fucking guys, you know, for one stupid dollar. One stupid dollar, the guy's arguing with me. Why didn't you just give me $35 and say fuck it? Are you that cheap? I tell you, dealing with people like that leaves a sour taste in my mouth. Most people tip, and I don't mind if they don't tip. If they give me the exact amount that's on the meter, that's fine. But you give me less, you want to haggle and bargain? That's not the way this business works. I took the best way there was. I got green lights all the way. And you give me this guff about, will you do it for 30? I hate that. Anyway, aside from that, the night's going good. I got about 160 on, and it's 12:52, so I got 5 hours left to go, and it's raining. And I've been watching a couple of movies. One of them was called Gore, G-O-R. It's a story where this professor, this nerdy professor, ends up being transported to another world when his car crashes into a tree. And he has to save the people from being slaves. And now I started watching another one called Invader, which is another 1980s science fiction thing. 70s or 80s. And next on the list is a thing called Krull, which I remember hearing about, but I don't remember ever seeing it. So if nothing happens in the rain, I'll be watching these movies. Well, as far as Wednesday nights go, I guess it was a success. I did about 250 total. Nothing happened in the last couple hours. For some reason, I was booked into the wrong zone and didn't notice it. I was, however, tired, and I fell asleep. And then when I woke up, I realized that I was booked in the wrong zone and hadn't had a call. So I booked myself in the proper zone, and for some reason at 5 o'clock I woke up and realized that I had missed a call, but there's no way that this thing would have woke me up if I had really had a call. So I don't know what's going on. Maybe I was so tired that I needed it. Yeah. Did I mention my next door neighbor had played some loud music and woke me up at 2 in the afternoon? Yeah. Anyways, 2 more nights to go. It's raining. It's also 8 o'clock in the PM. It is Thursday night. Taxi vlog 455 or 56, somewhere around there. Yeah, it's Thursday evening, and I had an early run to the airport, which really makes a difference. And these guys are all sitting here waiting for a plane to come in. I had a delightful chat with a gentleman from the Middle East somewhere. I think he's probably from Saudi Arabia or one of those countries, because he was talking about his GMC truck with a 454 V8, and that it's cheap to run because they pump the oil out of the ground and refine it right there on the spot. So yeah, that's a lot of fun. And yeah, so he's going back home or something, and I just helped him get packed or get to the airport. It's $55. This is a good way to start my night after the 35 bucks or so that I got before that. So 90. Okay, need another 20 to get my lease for tonight, because Thursday lease is a bit expensive. But I'll get back to you towards the end of the shift there. Just thought I'd tell you how my night's starting out, and it's starting out very well. I just had some piece of shit kid ask me to turn the meter off when he went into a building for a moment and left his mother in the car with me. And when he got out, in passing, he said, "And you're going to turn off the meter, right?" So he left. And as he was walking away, I said, "Doesn't work that way, pal." But he didn't hear me because he was already out of the car. And she kind of laughed along with me. And then he came back. A couple of minutes later, and it was about $1.50 more on the meter. And he said, "You didn't turn the meter off? You're a fucking goof. You're an asshole." He called me this. It's a 21-year-old kid who's calling me a goof and an asshole. And I said, "I'm hired. I don't shut off the meter when I'm hired. When we get to our destination, that's when the meter gets shut off. This is non-negotiable." I don't know what it is this week, but I had that one guy chisel me for $1 last night. And now I got this kid who never learned respect and manners calling me an asshole and saying that every other cabbie does it. And then I said to him, "Well, obviously you don't understand respect. You don't talk to people like that in public." He said, "Well, I got more respect than you do." Well, he said, "You're not getting a tip." I said, "That's fine. I don't need a tip. You're probably not going to get paid either." Well, that's not the way this business works. He says, "Yeah, I know how this business works. Some packy dad gives the car to his packy son, and you're all a bunch of packies." And I said, "Well, it is not my fault that I am not white." And going on like that. And I said, "You don't talk to people that way. This is inappropriate." And he said, "Well, you're fucking goof and you're an asshole." Well, anyway, on the way there, he was mumbling and murmuring about not getting paid and asshole and this and that. And then about a minute later, he said, "Oh, I'm sorry I got angry at you." I said, "Well, that's better." I said, "I don't take crap from anybody." And he says, "Well, I don't take crap from anybody either." I said, "Well, great, we're on the same page." He said, "What car number is this?" I said, "Well, you want to make a complaint? Go right ahead. That's fine with me. Make my day." I told him it's car 31. I told him my name, and that should be good enough. He says, "You're probably going to get fired." I said, "Yeah, like I said, you don't know how this business works." Anyway. Then he and his girlfriend left because his girlfriend was the one who came out of the building with him. And the mother ended up paying. I did not receive a tip. That's fine. That's perfectly fine. And she was saying, it's a family emergency. I said, "Well, yeah, you know what? Less than 2% of all customers ask me to turn off the meter when they leave the car for a moment or two. And it's all right." And she says, "Well, some do, some don't." Whatever. I don't know of anyone who does that. Turns off the meter when you go into a store or into a building. I'm going to stop now. It's going to probably take me half an hour to cool down from this altercation. Fucking 21-year-old kid calling me an asshole and yelling at me and telling me all about respect. Fuck. Some people just don't know how to behave in public. And I was about to tell his mother that she should have taught him manners in how to behave in public. He even said, "Oh, you burned a yellow light." I said, "Yeah, it wasn't red yet." Yellow lights don't mean it's red yet. Red means stop. Teach me to drive now? I've been driving cab since before he was born. Yeah, it's going to take me an hour to cool down now. Okay, the night is over. It's now 5:46. I went and washed the car because it was kind of rainy and grimy last night. So I did all the mats. I washed the mats and I I washed the exterior of the car and I vacuumed the interior out. And so now, you know, the night after I dealt with that stupid kid, around, I guess it was 10 o'clock. I think I told you what time it was when that happened. And, you know, for the most part, the night was slow. I only did 240, and that was with a $55 airporter at the beginning. I think I had $90 on, like, by 9 o'clock. And now, 240. So it wasn't all that good. Things have slowed down quite a bit since April. I think May is the month. Well, the kids are not in school now, and it's sort of an in-between time before any big summer stuff happens, any big tourism thing going on. I don't know. Anyway, the night is over. I'm going to go home, have something to eat, have a few drinks, and go to sleep. Talk to you sooner. Saturday morning, 10 minutes after 5. Well, here's what happened. I came to work, and I got slammed. I was busy, non-stop busy. One right after another. One time, I dropped the guy off, and as soon as I dropped him off, I was being sent to the same address where I dropped this other guy off. And a couple times I had repeat calls to the same places, like being sent to the same place 2 or 3 times in a row for different people. There were a lot of house parties, and I was going quite solid until about, I'd say 3 o'clock. And then it got quiet. After 3:30, there was nothing. Highlights, I had 200 on at 11. I had 300 on at 2 o'clock. That's pretty good. And now, at 5:11, I have over 400 on. So I've done okay. Had it continued to be busy, after 3, I would have 500 on, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it was a good, successful night. The energy was strong. The connections were good. The tips were generally good. So I can't complain. Another success. Now I should go and wash this thing, fuel up, and park it. Because I am pretty bagged. The last hour and a half or so before the last call, I just did a call and cleared. For an hour and a half I had nothing, and I started watching something on the phone. I don't even know what it was. It was a YouTube video of some kind. And I fell asleep watching it. I think it was some kind of video about making whiskey. It put me right to sleep. Anyways, I hope yours is better than mine. I doubt there's anything much going to happen between now and 45 minutes from now. Especially since I'm just going to wash the car, fuel it up, and park it.